In the southern United States, there's a saying that killing a mockingbird is a sin. This is because mockingbirds have a beautiful singing voice. Their melodies touch the hearts of people, and they never harm the crops or fruits. They simply sing for us to enjoy. Taking the life of such a bird is considered a crime, leading the mockingbird to its demise under the barrel of prejudice and preconceived notions. This itself is a transgression in our lives. Think about how many mockingbirds exist in the world we live in. Differences in geography, gender, occupation, interests, and even habits create diverse mockingbirds. Prejudices and narrow-mindedness persist everywhere, much like how schoolmates bully their peers, colleagues isolate one another at work, or those who genuinely help others are misconstrued as seeking personal gain. In the far corners of rural areas, many from the LGBT community still endure judgmental eyes in a world of indifferent souls, leaving decay in their wake. In many households, certain unwavering beliefs dictate actions and decisions. Young ones are denied the right to express their opinions about adults, and even you might have suffered from the pain caused by others' prejudices. The timeless novel To Kill a Mockingbird begins with a title that imparts a deep truth: you never truly understand someone until you walk in their shoes. The central character of this tale is Scout, a young girl living with her older brother, Jean, and their father, Atticus. The author, from the perspective of a child, wants us to realize that all the twisted aspects of life require change, starting from education. The highest form of education for all of us, and our offspring, is to learn respect for differences. For adults, this means mastering self-discipline, which entails managing their own prejudices. Hello, and welcome to TrueRoots. We're dedicated to sharing comprehensive personal development knowledge across various aspects of life. This week, I'd like to share with you a literary masterpiece by the American writer Huxley. Translated into 40 languages, this book received the Pulitzer Award and has had a profound impact worldwide. Obama even publicly gifted his daughter with 2 books, one of which is this novel. Join me for a discussion about To Kill a Mockingbird, under the theme Walk in Someone Else's Shoes, in this episode of TrueRoots. Have you ever thought about killing a mockingbird? A wicked soul, dwelling in that house, that's what the people of Cloudcroft say about Redland the recluse. Redland's house was always tightly shut, while the townspeople only closed their doors when the weather turned icy or someone fell ill. The kids were terrified of Redland. They described him as tall, 6 feet in height, eating live cats, scars on his face, yellow-stained teeth, bulging eyes oozing mucus. But the irony was, these young ones had never encountered Red, and it was the adults' prejudices that ignited their imaginative minds. During that dull summer, the kids, in their quest to kill time, managed to infiltrate the secluded Red's yard. They hoped to lure him out, but found that the road by his house was the only path to school. The children discovered that gifts often appeared mysteriously near Red's gate: candies, gum, medals hidden in tree hollows. One day, Red's house caught fire, and as the townsfolk extinguished the flames, young Scout stood there, shocked to find a blanket covering her shoulders, placed without her noticing. Another time, when the kids sneaked into Red's house, Red's brother caught them. In their panic, Scout lost her pants, and only with a makeshift loincloth made of thorns did she escape. The following day, that torn pair of pants had been mended and neatly laid out. It was Redland's silent gestures of warmth. No one knew that Redland, due to a youthful mistake, had been exiled by his family for a decade. Since then, he had grown accustomed to a solitary life, masking his cold demeanor with awkward smiles, using these to replace the icy, indifferent words he refrained from uttering. Because his lifestyle differed from the majority, Red Lady, as he was nicknamed, was branded as eccentric. Have you ever thought about someone being eccentric? Have you ever felt annoyed, irritated, or angered by the differences between yourself and others? A philosopher once said, "Most of us are against prejudice, but everyone has prejudices." We often believe we lack biased views, thinking these are confined to the minds and hearts of foolish, cruel people. However, in reality, we all, to some extent, possess biases. The philosopher Socrates compared humans to prisoners in a cave, their bodies bound, viewing the world only through shadows and echoes cast upon the cave's wall. They believed only what they saw, until they stepped out and saw the sun. Similarly, confronting a differing opinion should remind us that we too are cave dwellers. Others are also prisoners like us. It's only when you acknowledge that your own breath could kill a mockingbird, that you genuinely test your own nature. Only then can you truly recognize the limitations in your thinking and learn to respect differences. An ancient German philosopher's wayward idea once stated, "I respect any independent soul, even though some I truly cannot comprehend or manage my own intolerance." Learning to manage one's own biases is a premier lesson for every mature person. We must protect the voice of reason from prejudice. In the small town of Mockingbird, a sudden surge of news has spread due to a shocking rape incident. A young white girl was humiliated by a black teenager, and what escalated the situation was the fact that a white lawyer defended the black defendant. This lawyer, Atticus, is the father of the main character's neighbor, Skype. Skype openly criticized his father, questioning why he was supporting a black person. Even his daughter was angry at him, wondering why he was helping someone from a different race. But in reality, Atticus was well aware of the racial tension in the town, and the deeply rooted prejudice that existed. Despite the almost impossible odds of winning the case in a racially divided environment, Atticus believed he had to do it to teach his children a lesson in ethics. His strong moral compass drove him to stand up for what he believed was right, even when the world seemed to be against him. He said, "I still just want to live true to my own humanity." There was one thing Atticus couldn't follow the crowd on: his own conscience. As the trial progressed, Atticus faced mockery from the white community, and the only simple figure in this case was Tom, a black man accused of rape. But Tom had something precious to Atticus, something that pushed him to defend Tom so fiercely. Tom's name was Tom Eagle, a kind-hearted, humble man who had helped the Atticus family in the past. Tom's gentle nature had won over Maya, Atticus's eldest daughter. She had fallen in love with him, and despite their racial differences, she developed deep feelings for Tom.